Chan is not simply contemplation, because meditation is not simply contemplation, because before you can contemplate, you need to be able to stop thinking. So, for example, and this is not meant to be criticism, but since you asked, I need to point it out for everyone's consideration. To teach that meditation is contemplation alone is misleading, because you need to teach people how to stop their mad mind first before they can contemplate. On the other hand, if you only teach people as, I'm teach you vipassana and it's you contemplate, actually your instruction is not complete. And it causes problems because people, like today's question, prove that they don't know how to contemplate after all these years, all this time meditating. Okay, so in principle, let me explain to you. In meditation, we need to do a samatha, and this is from the Shrangama Sutra, which spells it out, which is a Bible for Chan meditation in Mahayana. The Hinayana people, they don't quite have it. But in Mahayana meditation, the Buddha is very detailed. He says, if you want to meditate, you have to go through two phases, samatha and vipassana. You see, it's the same word, vipassana as well, in Mahayana as well as Hinayana. Because it's the same process. You need to learn to meditate, to contemplate. Okay, so, but however, first you need to learn to stop your mind. Okay, for example, in Korea, you have the very popular practice of Hwato. Okay, the Hwato, if you look at the Hwato process itself, actually it also includes samatha and vipassana. All meditation methods require samatha and vipassana. Okay? It doesn't matter what you do, whether it's one in Dharma door, whether it's reciting the Buddha's name, whether it's Hwato, they all require you to go through first samatha, and then once you reach a certain level of samatha, then you'll be able to do vipassana, then you contemplate. Okay? And so this is important. A very important distinction for you who are now being certified to be 1G, 4A, 1G, and so forth. The 4A, the 4A and higher are able to do samatha. Is that clear? So below 4A, you can't really do samatha. You can't really stop your mind yet. Your mind goes, it has its own agenda. It does its things. Okay, it wants what it wants, and who's going to stop it? God? God even can't stop you. Okay, so that's why you teach, we train you meditation, and for all the last 19, 20 years, I started by telling you your first dhyana, second dhyana, third dhyana, because implicitly I'm telling you that at those levels, you have a certain abilities that you can do. And now I'm telling you, why I've been telling you, I've been informing you and certifying all of you all these years, because when I tell you reach 4A, now you are able to successfully do samatha, meaning you can stop your mind. Okay, so you can stop your mind, then you contemplate on what you want to contemplate. Whether it's a Buddha's name, whether it's an image, whatever you want to know, by the way. If you want to know, should I move? Should I get married? Should I shave my head? Shouldn't I, and so forth. You need to do samatha first, and then contemplation is next step, where you remember, samatha is that you empty your mind. You stop your mind. Okay? And contemplation now, since your mind is empty, now you put your mind into one thought only. Okay? That's how you say you sit and you enter the samadhi of 4 stage rahat or 1G, for example. or 5G, for example. Doesn't matter where you are. You have to be 4A, 4th stage Arhat, or higher before you can successfully contemplate more consistently. Below that, you still can, but your skills are not mature enough for you to be consistently be able to stop your mind. Is that clear? Okay, so if you're not been certified to 4A yet, it doesn't matter. You still try, you have to understand that process. You need to let go of your thinking, your thoughts in your heads. Okay, that's samatha. That's why you meditate. You've been receiving training all these years, all these times, in order for you to learn to do samatha. That's the first fundamental skill. We're talking about fundamentals here. Okay? The kids need to have to learn to crawl before she can walk, that kind of thing. Okay? So samatha is the first thing you need to, now I spell it out for you. We put everyone through this process. We don't explain everything to you. Okay? Well, that's part of the training. So you need to learn to let go of your thinking until you are able to be consistently able to enter the samadhi 4A. Okay? Okay, or even below, you can still enter your samadhi. Okay, but let me talk about 4A first and higher first. Okay, when you get to 4A, you're able to stop your thinking. And now you set your mind and say, now you only think of one thought. Now you bring up one thought in your mind. You see, there's two steps. First of all, empty your mind. Okay, 4A, 1G, and above can do that. Empty the mind. And now, once they realize the mind is blank, it's empty, then they bring up this thought, okay, and said, should I love my wife or not? In spite of it all. Okay? So that's when you decide, okay, you contemplate, you keep that one thought there only, that's called contemplation. Contemplation is no more than maintaining one thought in your mind. And you keep on keeping a thought there. Should I or shouldn't I? Okay? Do I or don't I? Okay? And you keep that thought only, and eventually your Buddha nature kicks in and it gives you the answer. If you are a scientist, if you're a researcher, if you're an artist, you all go through the same process for creative thinking. So this contemplation is the systematic skill in Buddhism where you are able to create beyond your normal domain. That's when you branch out. Am I making sense to you? Does it help? Okay? This is very advanced. This is what Chan is about. And this is what we train all of you. You put all of you in this process where we train you in samatha and vipassana. Eventually your vipassana skills will be better, okay, and so forth. But when you've been certified to a very important level, 4A or higher, that's when you are able to develop the skills to consistently produce original thoughts. What I mean by original thoughts is, or creative thinking, is what you go outside of your normal worldly thinking. This is why it's very important. After that, any of you can go back and be a great surgeon, be a great artist, be a great composer, be a great singer, and so forth. I mean, a singer, I don't know, your vocal cords. I have no control over that, okay? you need to, it's a different process, okay? It's a physical thing. But in terms of creative thinking, in terms of the mental world, intellectual world, this is when you transcend your mind limitations, your thinking mind limitations, and you are able to create beyond your thinking mind, beyond the realms of your thinking mind. Okay? That's why, in short, contemplation means, first, enter samadhi, okay? And then number 2, maintaining one thought. And you keep on maintaining one thought, naturally, it may be very fast, could be 2 minutes, could be 5 hours, could be 5 days, could be 5 months, it doesn't matter. You maintain one thought. And one day, all of a sudden, boom, you have the answer for you only. So if the two of you are sitting there and doing the contemplation on the same thing, the man says, should I marry her? The woman says, should I marry him? Okay? You may come up with different answers. I'm warning you. Depending on what's best for you. Okay? And this is what Chan is about. What's best for you based on what you have at that time. Good question. You see, there's a lot more to Chan. Unless you ask, we will not tell you. Because this is not a dissertation. We're not trying to impress you with our knowledge. It's about helping you get what you want. Okay, okay. Next person.
Xiaoqing, please go ahead.
阿弥陀佛，师父，我有一个关于常坐的短问题，就是在打坐做多少小时之后可以去厕所？
去什么？
去厕所、洗手间。
Her question is, after how many hours of long sit that she can use the restroom?
It's best that you use the restroom before you sit.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay. Okay.
That's not fine with nature, modern nature. Okay, that's a good question, by the way. When you sit and meditate, you try to sit as long as possible. And of course, when we train our people, especially young boys, they forget to go to the restroom before they sit. So we taught them, and I taught many of you, I don't see it being done anymore. And the people need to go to the restroom, they still cross their legs and they crawl around. At Lu Mountain Temple, they even made this dolly. They built their own dolly. They could have gone to our hardware store and buy a dolly for $10 back then. No, they had to build this dolly themselves. They hoist themselves on the dolly and then push like a handicapped person. I used to do that to myself because no one taught me. I said, I ain't unbuckling my legs, but I need to go. What do I do? So I learned how to walk with my legs crossed, with my hands and so forth. Okay. No, it doesn't sound as impressive. You think? Don't think I just go up there and walk my hands. No. All right, and so you should try to, we can do those things, or nowadays, I finally understood, okay, you don't need to worry about it if you need to get up and go to the toilet. Okay, because what really happens is after you come back, you may lose about 5-10 minutes to settle down again. Okay, so realistically speaking, if you're able to sit for 10 hours already, okay, that's your max, and now you reach 5 and you need to go to the restroom, it's okay, it's not a big deal. However, if you're trying to reach 11, then don't go to the toilet. You understand? If you're trying to break through, then do not unbuckle. You're trying to sit longer, try to have a personal best record, longer sits, then don't unbuckle. But if you're able to do that already, then you can break it up, okay? Because Because what happens later as you practice more and more, you find out that at times you need to go to the restroom because the toxins are coming out. It itches everywhere. Okay, so it's best that you go to the restroom, and because your system, your body is trying to expel the toxins. So it's much better for you to go to the toilet, okay, especially when it itches. You want me to be more specific? Okay? You know what I mean. So if it's really itchy because the toxins are really coming out there, so you need to expel it. It's better because you didn't, then it's uncomfortable, and some of it might still become residues and absorb into your skin and so forth. Okay, so if possible, if you're not trying to push yourself to break to a new threshold, then it's okay to go to the restroom. Okay, but ultimately, it's no big deal. Now I get up and sit down very often because I'm old. I can do whatever I want. Okay, anyone else? Training Chinese is a lot more than just punishing yourself. I used to punish myself because I was a bad boy. Never mind. Yes, JC.
Thank you, Master. I have another question today.
Okay.
From the Chanto, now for the Asia, you mentioned about the 5 roots and the 5 powers. I'd like to know that how to purify the 5 roots.
The 5 roots?
Yes.
Okay, the 5 roots. That's coming up in tonight's lecture. Okay, tune in and you have some this important concept. Absolutely, yes, good question. But it will be addressed later during the lecture on the prologue. I prepared, luckily for me, I looked at the prologue because I chose an anecdote already, for some reason. So, all right, very good. Just hang on, and we can talk about, is it roots? Oh, no, sorry. Roots will not be addressed today. It will be addressed in the Song of Enlightenment. See, I finished with my lecture, tonight's lecture preparation, so moved on to next days, which is Song of Enlightenment. In that section, it talks about the 5 roots and the 5 powers, the very first slide, okay? So, I'm sorry, let me, please be patient, tune in to tomorrow's lecture. If it's too early for you, then watch a video. I will elaborate more, okay? No. All right, anyone else? Okay, tonight we try to, see you've been talking a lot, and I like to discuss the Wei Yang anecdote. This is about, I only agree with your picking it up, right? Not long after or then, Master Yang Shan went to Jiangling for his ordination and spent the summer retreat studying the Vinaya Pitaka. Later, he visited Yantou. On seeing him, Yantou held up his whisk, and the master spread out his sitting cloth. And some background on Master Yantou. His Master Yantou Quan. Oh, by the way, you people, this is my fault. It's completely my fault. And when it started about 10, 12 years ago, one of my left home person pronounced this is as a Chuan, like Vietnam language. Okay, so actually, Chinese is a very beautiful language. These actually pronounces Chuan. Okay, it's no sound as Chuan. Chuan is a different spelling. It's CH. Okay, a Q here is a U here, special U. So you should pronounce it Chuan. Please, all of you, especially Korean names and non-Chinese speaking people, recognize this character. It's pronounced Chuan or Train and so forth. The Q here is actually followed by a special U with the 2 dots on top, typically. All right? Now, thank you. All right, Master Yantou, means cliff's edge, was from the Ke family of Zhou. In his youth, he bowed to Master Yi, Xingshi of Qingyuan, Green Plains, who shaved his head. And he went to stay at Baoshou, Precious Lifespan, monastery in Chang'an, where he received the full precepts. Afterwards, he became friends with Chan Master Jinshan, Mountain of Steam of Xuefeng. He became his fellow cultivator and companion of the way. So Master Yantou here, you see, is of the old Chinese Chan school. And to me, Chinese Chan is probably, from as far as I know, the most advanced Chan I am aware of. And so if you want to study Chan, and many of you are very good in Chan already, I strongly urge you to learn Chinese, because the most profound Chan wisdom I know is from a Chinese literature, not Vietnam, not Korean, not Indian, okay? Only because I don't understand Sanskrit, but I doubt that the Sanskrit is any deeper at all, because I noticed that many great patriarchs came to China and they were Chan masters. So that's why the Chan literature in Chinese is very, very diverse, very profound. Okay, and so if you really want to, and Chan is a very important skill in Mahayana. Okay, all the patriarchs need to be good enough in Chan, and Master Xinhua is very high level Chan patriarch. The current one is not that high. That's why he chose not to reveal himself, okay? Because part of the Chan teaching is that you need to advise people. That's why you call a good knowing advisor. You can't advise unless you know, okay? And if you don't know anything, how can you advise? So Master Xinhua is a great Chan master. So I said, you need to learn about Chan, about Chinese language, okay? And the text, the Chan text, the advanced Chan teachings are all in Chinese. They're not translated into English at all. And unfortunately, the Chinese, even their own, right now, with the Chinese people, they don't quite understand the Chan literature in Chinese at all. So it's up to us, okay? So that's why I urge you, I really sincerely hope that you will learn, take time to learn Chinese and come up to speed on the Buddhist teachings, especially Chan teachings and Pureland teachings and Sutra teachings and so forth. Because they're very profound. They are a lot of fun. And so much fun for me to look at the depth of these teachings. I'm learning more and more every day. Okay? And so this master here was, he very young, you can tell, he bowed to Master Xingshi. And so it tells you that these people have blessings. So they would not, they would find that the most challenging thing in life was not the destruction out of life, but to pursue this cultivation, okay? And and so he shaved his head, and then he went to and then he became fully ordained. And then what's interesting about him is that he connected with fellow cultivators, okay? Because back then the Chinese have many great cultivators, so it's a real beneficial for them to connect together and cultivate and help each other. And the same thing's happening in our community. Many of you are in the A range, 1 to 4 range, more than I even bother talking about it. And then many of you lay people and left form people also in the G range, 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, and so forth. Okay. And higher. And so your community here our community is growing, and amazingly, what's impressive about our community is that lay people, not surprisingly, can reach high level as well. So we don't discriminate whether it's a lay person or left form person, a woman or a man, a child. We don't care. Okay? We train everyone accordingly. According to how much you're willing to endure, okay? So that's what we call community here. So in a way, I'd like to point out to you that your conditions are much better than Master Yintou. Because Yintou only knows one person. The more you can cultivate the larger the community we have here of people who are very skilled, very high level, the better off the entire community is. For everyone. Okay, case in point. Now the newcomers are progressing so fast, a lot faster than the old-timers. Old-timers, it used to take them 5 years to get into the A range. Now it's just so fast for all of you. Okay, it's amazing that how good the community has become, and that's very commendable for all of you. Okay. You are scary. That's why if I decide to stick around, it gets harder and harder to impress you. Okay, so this guy here, this master here chose very picky. He chose only Chan Master Jin Shan. I'm sure he's a big shot too, Master Jin Shan. And so forth. That's why Master Yintou, who is a famous Chan master, chose to befriend the other person, the other monk. Okay? And next, Master Yintou put whisk behind his back. Master Yangshan picked up his sitting cloth, put it over his shoulder, and went out. Yin said, I do not agree with your spreading the mat. I only agree with your picking it up. And that's the end of the anecdote. Okay, can I finish my anecdote and pick up the JC question? The JC question is about the anecdote or something else?
다른 질문인 것 같습니다. 잠시만.
It's a different question.
Different question. Okay, hang on. Okay, let me try to walk through here. So Master Yangshan, then Master Yangshan. So Master Yangshan was a novice monk somewhere, and then his master, I think is Tang Ya. What's his name? His master, his original master, allowed him something like Dan Yuan or something. Anyone remembers? And so his own original, his first shifu allowed him to receive full ordination. And he went to Jianglin to do his ordination. Okay, and he spent the summer retreat studying the Vinaya Pitaka. So, and this is a very important point here. It tells us that Master Yang Shan had the proper foundation. In Buddhism, we have the Vinaya Pitaka, or the morality basket, where we teach you about the rules of morality. Okay, what's right, what's wrong. And therefore, that knowledge is fundamental knowledge. Back then in China, all the monks and nuns are supposed to spend up to 5 years studying the Vinaya after full ordination. So you see that Master Yang Shan's training is very, very, very sound. Nowadays, we can't do it anymore because there are very few temples left, or places left where you can study the Vinaya. For example, you want to study Vinaya, the last thing I would go is to a university. I would go to a temple environment where you study the temple customs and how to apply the Vinaya. So there are only a few temples left, and eventually we need to bring that knowledge to the U.S. And I would like eventually in the future, for the sake of American Mahayana, we need to have a temple here that we will have a master or mistress or master of a man or woman to teach Vinaya for you. Okay, that's very important. Okay, you don't need to be that high level, but you need to understand it. Okay, and this understanding for Vinaya here is Mahayana understanding. The thing I learned Vinaya in Taiwan, for example, is based on the scriptures, and the level of understanding is basically Hinayana. So if you take the scripture back to the U.S. and I put a person who's 1G, 2G, and so forth to specialize in that, it's beautiful, by the way. It's so intellectually stimulating, the Vinaya. I love it. It's like I study law for 1 quarter, business law, contract law, okay, and I loved it, okay. And so because it's intellectually very stimulating, the Vinaya is incredibly insightful. If you study Vinaya, even if you're 1G, 2G, and so forth, you study Vinaya, I assure you, you do it right, you will continue to improve. That's why I would encourage all of you, some of you, to go into that. Okay? Now, all right. So that's very sound, and for that we need to send people to Taiwan for maybe 2 years. I say that's enough. Once they learn Chinese, I like to send a nun, and maybe 1 or 2 nuns. Well, we have lots of nuns here, and maybe 1 monk. I can only spare 1 monk. Okay, until we make more monks, so we're not gonna go. We're not gonna. We have a different schedule for them. Okay, the monks are weaker. That's why we need to be more gentle. Okay, so studying Vinaya is very, very important. Very sound fundamentals. Right now, I told you before, the way we train you is based on the foundation of Vinaya. My Master thichvinhhoausa, set up a kind of a narrow foundation. I enlarge a little bit for you, and so forth. But eventually, for your generation, you should have your own understanding of Vinaya. Okay? Yeah. All right, that's for the long haul. That's for the future of Mahayana in the world. Okay? And no worries if we lose the Vinaya temples in Taiwan for any reason, okay? Quote, invasion or whatever. We can reconstruct the knowledge pretty easily, Okay, it's faster if you were to go there and they teach you what do these old Chinese characters mean. Because you cannot find them in dictionaries. Some of them are not in the dictionaries anymore, and they have their own meanings. Okay, so they spend like 10 years studying them. We can go there and learn the language, pick up the language, the semantics very quickly, and come back. Okay, that's what my plans are. Anyone interested? Think about it. Don't have to answer me right now. See, I have all these big plans, but you need more donation, you need more projects. Instead of punching a hole in my roof for more donation, I'll give you more projects. All right. Later, he visited Yantou. So another point here is that the tradition of seeking good known advisor. After 5 years, this is fundamental, very sound Chan training. This is the Master Yang Shan Foundation. So incredible. Okay? Much better than Master Xinhua, much better than mine, for example. Much better than any monk here in the US. Any monk. Or none. Okay? So we visited Yantou, because nowadays no one will spend 5 years studying Vinaya anymore. That detailed knowledge of Vinaya is incredibly insightful. If you want to be a great teacher, you want to study Vinaya, by the way. Shh. That's why Master Xinhua is not a great teacher, because he doesn't understand Vinaya that profoundly yet. And the Americans here don't have that knowledge. Okay, so he visited Yantou. So he looked for a good known advisor. Upon seeing him, Yantou held up his whisk, and Master Yang Shan spread out his sitting cloth. Meaning what? In that tradition, thanks to the Chinese teaching me research, they say in that Chinese tradition, you hold up a whisk to show that you're speaking Dharma. So that's why many Chinese monks and nuns would wear a whisk. Okay, use a whisk. Use a whisk to kind of tell people that I can speak Dharma. I'm speaking Dharma, and I can bestow Dharma. So far, so good. Okay, so that's why when Master Yantou says, "I speak Dharma," Master Yang Shan spread out his sitting cloth right away. What for? To show respect and appreciation. So back then, the monks have sitting cloth. Unlike us nowadays, we don't bring sitting cloth anymore. Why not? Because my nuns, they decide to carry a small purse. We used to have sangha bags in my time. Nowadays, my nuns, and I don't dare say anything, my nuns prefer to carry a small thing, okay? Because it's more compact, it's heavy on the shoulders. Okay? And so if you have this small thing, the sitting cloth, okay, it's actually pretty thick, pretty big. So it takes up a lot of space. It's no more room for the lipsticks and, And so that's why they don't, we don't use sitting cloth anymore, okay? And then, but back then, so Master Yang Shan's formation is very, very traditional. So it's very sound, incredibly sound foundation. So imagine you take a sitting cloth and you take it out and you unfold it and you put down. So you see this show here, that process there, as you can imagine, is very, very deliberate. So you be concentration, because the other monk says, I'm speaking Dharma. Master Yang Shan immediately took out his sitting cloth and mindfully, if you will, okay, unfold his cloth, sit down and tuck his clothes in, unlike my nuns whose clothes are like spread out all over like this. so that when you're behind them and you get up where you are, you're going to step on their clothes, on their sash and their tail of their long rope, whatever. So that's why you put on sitting cloths and you tidy up your clothes and tidy yourself so that you occupy the minimal space so that you make room for others to move around. Just very, very subtle things, okay, that I don't say anything anymore because people say I'm too demanding, okay? But I'm very, very easygoing. At times. Okay, so sprout is sitting cloth. You see, it's very a formal process. So that's how you show respect. Okay, I'm gonna, put on my sitting cloth and sit down, arrange my clothes. And so like it's do it in mindfulness. And the other monks are held up there and be still. So it's like arm wrestling. If you do that while the monk who's holding our whisk starts moving around, touching his nose and and so forth, then you can get up and go away. Oh yeah, it's jostling, if you will. That monk who goes there like this, he says, pay attention. And they say, okay, I'm paying attention. You go and you pay attention to every single thing you do. And if that guy moves, you say, you can go. Okay, so this is a Chan world, folks. You are so naive. We so easy going here in the U.S. I say, hey, buddy, what's happening? No, over there we don't say anything. They just every single move is like sparring. That's Chan for you. Okay, so interestingly, Master Yang Shan later, he decided after 5 years of studying, but after he studied Vinaya, and if you're great, you don't have to spend 5 years. Your master can allow you to go, and look for a good no advisor. He visited a good no advisor, well-known good no advisor, who says, yes, I'm a good no advisor. Okay, I have something to give you. And I said, yes, thank you. So he said, allow me to get ready to show you that I'm worthy to receive your teaching. Got that? It's both ways. One way, on one side says, yes, I'm qualified to teach you. The other guy says, yes, I'm worthy to receive your teaching. So it's a sparring thing, okay? And this is what happened next. And the background here. And so Yin To put his whisk down behind his back. Master Ya Shan picked up his sitting cloth, put it over his shoulders, and went out of the hall. Why? I have 10 minutes. Speak quickly. Why? I gave you the setting already, the mise en scène. The guy says, I'm a good no advisor. Yeah? He said, Sit down, full lotus, tuck his clothes. As soon as he's done, Master Yin To put his whisk behind his back. And Master Yang Shan, without saying anything, stood up, folded his sitting cloth, put it over his shoulders, and left. Why? You see, that's Chan right there. Yes, 6.
I'm not really sure, Master, but there might be unspoken communication happened between.
Absolutely. 言语道断, the way of the words. the path of the words, comes to an end. That's real teaching right there. Okay? When I still have to talk to you, it's a temporary thing. But eventually, when you get there, you don't need the words anymore. Okay? Because anyone, Chinese-speaking people, it's your language. I'm not even Chinese. Sacrilege. This is what we do. We make a lot of claims that are nonsense. That Chinese is a very profound language, and the profound Chan teachings is right there in the Chinese language. When the Chinese don't have it, which is kind of insulting to say. Yeah? No clues? No suggestions? Yes, back there. Give her a microphone. 7.
Dạ, Di Đà Phật, kính thưa thầy, con không biết đúng không mà con nói. Con nhớ cái này giống như là hồi thời Đức Phật mà đưa cái hoa sen lên cho đại chúng xong rồi ngài Ca Diếp mới mỉm cười á thầy. Thì giống như là cái này giống như tâm tiền tâm á. Dạ, các chị đã đồng tâm với nhau. Không biết
Original.
đúng không? Dạ,
Very original. These Vietnam people, they read a lot. They're creative.
Amitabha Master, I don't know if this is right. I remember there's a story during the Buddha's time is that the Buddha hold up a lotus flower in front of the assembly, and only Mahakasyapa had a smile, and it is like a mind-to-mind seal.
Okay, very good. JC, answer.
그 자체로 설법이 끝나서 그런 거 아닙니까?
Isn't it because the Dharma talk is ended not then?
They haven't said anything yet. Okay, next person, quickly.
Jane.
Thank you. Teaching is already finished, so that's the reason he pulled off the cloth.
But if the teaching is finished, what did he say? I do not agree with your spreading the mat. I only agree with your picking it up.
Oh, sorry. I was still looking at the first page, but can I point out one thing about the translation? Can, it was translated into visit, and the can actually has the meaning of visit with reverence and paying homage. It wasn't visit, it's just kind of at the same level.
I'm sorry, what's the point here?
I point out the translation, 参
I thought it's 年 or 禅 言年福子
Oh, slide number 3.
Okay.
参 here it just translated into visit. 参 actually it has visit with reverence. You pay homage.
Yeah. No,
But
actually, it's a tradition of go and shan chi shi. So it's to visit a good no advisor. So it's okay in this context. It's okay.
Okay,
Of course,
thank you.
it's that tradition. Thank you. Okay, so here's what happened. As I told you, I helped you, I set it up for you already. Because Master Yang Shan, the way that he spread out his sitting cloth and then sat down, and his comportment right there showed Yin To that Master Yang Shan was no ordinary person. In fact, this is how they recognize each other, by little gestures, by little things they do, by the way they move, by the way they talk, the way they look at you. That's why Master Yin To watched. She held the wrist there and watched and froze and watched Master Yang Shan. And right there, as I told you, it's a kung fu, it's a sparring thing. So Master Yang Shan immediately, respectfully, unfolded his sitting cloth and went through the motion of sitting down, arranging his cloth and sitting like a bell. That right there is to show, it's designed to show Master Yin To, here I am. This is who I am. This is where I'm at. Can you recognize me? You understand? When I send people to, when we go to visit temples, okay? I watch how the monks treat my disciples to see whether they recognize my disciples or not. So this is why I bring you along. When I go and bring you along for tea and meet with this abbot or the other abbot and so forth, because I want to watch, observe how they would treat my disciples. If they cannot even see my disciples, they can't see me. So here, Master Yin To, look at Master Yang Shan, how the way he behaved, how he behaved in a short span there. Master Yin To immediately recognized Master Yang Shan as superior Chan master already. That's why he immediately, as soon as it's his turn. So he said, immediately, as soon as Master Yang Shan done and said, I'm ready for you, he put his whisk back behind. He put his whisk behind his back, says, I have nothing to teach you. And Master Yang Shan, right there, shows Master Yang Shan, a superior monk. He immediately, he didn't say anything. Stood up, and right there, he stood up the way he stood up, It's a continuation of the way he sat down. He stood up, folded his sitting cloth, and formally put it over his shoulders, And that's a sign of respect of this is what I use to go seek the Dharma. It's not a piece of cloth I would stuff in a small bag, because it's cute. And so he put it in his shoulders and left. Cool? So right there is the teaching. Yin To says, I have nothing to teach you. So Master Yang Shan, I hear you. So Master Yang Shan, I hear you. You don't want to teach me, then I'm leaving. I don't have time to waste. You're too old, I'm too young to waste my life. And this is kind of cool. So that's why now Master Yin To felt the pressure. He says, I do not agree with your spreading the mat. I only agree with yours picking it up. What does it mean? He says, deep down, I know I don't have much to tell you, to teach you. I can't teach you. That's why your picking up your mat makes sense. I agree with you. So it's a praise of Master Yang Shan. Got that? Conclusion. What's Spanish for conclusion? Conclusion. Thank you. Conclusion. You understand, honey? Conclusion. conclusion. Okay, very good. So what's the conclusion? This is from Master Yento. How come Master Yangshan, what do you think happens? The anecdote ends with Master Yento saying something. What about Master Yangshan? Yes, 7, 5.
Thank you, Master. I think Master Yangto is also very humble because he could see that Master Yangshan was in a superior level, and he said this like, I agree, I don't have anything to teach you.
Yeah, okay, very good. Yes, he recognized Master Yangshan. Anyone else? How come it ends with Master Yento saying something, Master Yangshan saying nothing? Yes, 6.
I think a certain respecting protocol went on, because after that, he put the wrist back in the back, and then he started to fold his sitting cloth. That shows the respect. And then when he praised him, he doesn't say, yeah, you're right, you know. I mean, it's better to just be quiet and just accept it and leave. That's more lofty.
Very good. I'm running out of time, so that's why let me complete it for you. This is where Master Yento felt the pressure. The student came to visit the teacher and said, please teach me. And Master Yento, I have nothing to teach you. So he says, I'm a famous Chan master. You hear? I have something to offer you, okay? Because I'm a known Chan master. So Master Yangshan quietly, and Master Yento, you can see the face turn white. Okay, so Master Yangshan, now the pressure is on him. So Master Yento put it behind his whisk. I have nothing to teach you. And Master Yangshan, okay, you have nothing to teach me. Okay, I'm getting up, and so I'm going. Okay, I ain't wasting my time. So Master Yento now felt the pressure. He says, you know what? I agree with you leaving. You should have not sat down with me. So he said, you should have recognized me. His last message is that, couldn't you recognize me? You didn't have to sit down. I'm trying to be kind to Yento. Actually, I would be so embarrassed by Yento. Yento, what should have done? What should he have done? I give you 2 choices. Either one would be good. 6. This is wrong for Yento to do this.
Master, I think he should not have explained himself.
Yeah.
If he knew he was high enough level, there are no words that have to be said.
Yeah, he felt the pressure and said, you know what? I agree. You don't have to. You should pick. You did the right thing for picking up your sitting cloth. So he's justifying himself. So that's right there. What does it tell you? Yento felt the pressure from Yangshan. So Yento had to justify himself. There's no class. That's a problem when you're a known master and people come to you, please teach me. And you say, I have nothing to teach you. Why can't you have some class and say, I have nothing to teach you? And what would be a better thing to do? 1, say nothing. You leave, he said nothing. Because Yangshan said nothing, so you say nothing. Okay? That's very good. Number 2, another option would be, thank you for coming. To show respect for the act of seeking a good knowing advisor. We're not talking about Yangshan anymore. This is a beautiful Chan tradition. You're here to seek knowledge, and I applaud you for it. It's not about me anymore. Got it? So yin tao here, this is what happens to a lot of people. They feel the pressure. I'm the master. I'm supposed to teach you something. Okay? Does it help? So now, you see, that's why I told you there's a lot of pressure when two Chan masters meet each other. There's a lot more going on, you think. And the person who feels the heat will not be himself. Isn't that cool? It's a Chan sparring, mind you. Okay? It happens between Chan masters. Stop here today. Thank you, everyone. I'm sorry I can't get to the JC question. Can you hang on to it and we try to address it next time? Thank you.